apples and gave his permission. The witch sprinkled magical plant food on the trees, but instead of making delicious apples, the trees withered and died. Another time, the king had wanted a sweet, cuddly kitten. The witch brought him a beautiful white kitten with golden eyes. The cat hissed and spat whenever it saw the king. To make matters worse, it disobeyed all the rules. The king named the cat Mischief because she always got into trouble. She knocked over the queen's perfume collection and smashed all the bottles. Then she fell down the garter-robe, the palace toilet, and was flushed into the moat. Stefan had to fish her out and give her a bath. If that wasn't enough, the witch had given the king a special blonde tonic to cover a few gray hairs. But instead of covering the gray, it had made his hair fall out. Luckily, the king's hair had grown back, but his friendship with the witch had not. She was no longer welcome at the castle, nor anywhere else on the castle grounds. She had been banished to her treehouse in Bogburp. Yet here she was, knocking at the door. The king was about to send the witch away when the queen said, "Perhaps she's changed, Caleb. Let's hear what she has to say." The king sighed. "Very well," he said. "Send her in." Stefan presented the witch of Bogburp to the king and queen. Ruskin took one look at the witch and scampered behind Lucas. Lucas remembered her slightly from the days when she had worked at the palace. The witch had a short, stubby body, a large hooked nose, and elfish ears. She wore a black cloak and had wet, pointy leather shoes on her feet. A bonnet with a tail and a tassel sat on top of her scraggly black hair. And where her right eye should have been, the witch had a glass eye. Sometimes it rolled around in the socket when she spoke. Lucas could never quite tell where she was looking. It made him uneasy. To top it off, she had a black raven perched on top of her walking stick. "What brings you to the castle, Tilda?" asked the king, in a calm but not so friendly tone. The witch of Bogburp smiled, revealing a missing tooth on one side. She bowed slightly. "I have come to mend my ways, your majesty." Chapter 3. A Price to Pay. "And how do you plan to mend your ways?" asked the king. A crooked smile swept over the witch's face as lightning flashed outside the throne room windows. "Why, I can put an end to all this rain," she said sweetly. Thunder boomed and rumbled around the castle. King Caleb looked at the witch suspiciously. "And what do you know about the rain?" he asked. "I know it's a curse," said the witch. The king leaned back in his throne. "And what do you want to do about it?" he asked. The witch's glass eye bulged in its socket. "I don't want to do anything," she said. "I like the rain. But if never-ending rain isn't good for your kingdom, I may be able to help." The king desperately needed help. He had no idea how to stop the rain, and the witch knew it. He couldn't allow the kingdom's crops to be ruined. "I suppose I will have to accept your offer," said the king. "Of course you will," said the witch, who now knew that she, not the king, had the power. "But there will be a small price to pay." The king gripped the arms of his throne and leaned forward. "And what is your price?" "I only require 3 things," said the witch. Then she held up a bony finger for each. "A cauldron made of gold, your bejeweled family ring."